Paske li ok pou pa ok. Paske pale kapab ran bagay yo miyo. Paske eseye komunike se un sin fos. Toujou gon rezon pou pataje ki jan ou santi yo. Paske santé mentale ou konte.
I'm welcoming viewers around the world, viewers all over the social media, viewers in Massachusetts. My name is Ronald and I am presenting the show called SBP. SBP is the show bringing to you by the partnership between Mosaic Public Media, which is a non-profit media, and MCTV, which is Multicultural Television Network. So the show is bringing to you in a way to showcase small businesses. It's a platform where we have people from different backgrounds in the business industry where they can share their experience, they can learn from each other through this program. So today we are very glad and having with us the executive director of the Cape-Verdean Association, Mr. Moises Rodrigues. Welcome, Moises.
Thank you.
And also we have with us Maria, who is Maria Monteiro, who is a business owner in Brockton.
Thank you.
So we invited these two people in order to have a conversation. And the conversation is about the Greater Brockton Minority Business Association. And there has been a grant, and the grant created this organization. And I believe, Moises, I'm going to ask you this question first. If you can, talk to us about the beginning of this project.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us. It's an honor to be here. The need for a Greater Brockton Minority Business Association has been in place now for at least the 40 years that I've been in the United States in the sense. We have never had an organization that focused on minority issues or look at minority concerns. So it is all well and good that, and often it's kind of hard to create organizations or create anything without funding in a way. So when SBA came up with the Community Navigator pilot program, we applied for it because we had been doing some work with the small business community once COVID hit. There was a lot of small businesses that we found out were struggling to make ends meet, were having difficulties and comprehending the whole complex process that exists in order for you to get some help. So the association was kind of helping some of these businesses out in the sense, and then all of a sudden we hear, oh, by the way, there's this Community Navigator grant that actually is out there. And it's almost like the grant was like someone said, I'm going to give you some money to do exactly what you've been doing. Which in a way was, guiding, helping these, these businesses navigate this process. So we applied for this grant, and there were 700 plus applicants throughout the country, and they selected 51, and we were one of the 51s that they selected. There's only 4 of us in New England, but we are the only true like a social services association. Most of the other organizations are business-related types of organizations in a sense. But they selected us because of our ability to work across the communities that call Brockton home. The Cape-Verdean community, the Haitian community, the Latino community, and the African-American community in a sense. So we've been doing this for a while now, so we were able to get this grant. And it was actually somewhat a day of pride in the sense when it was announced out of the White House. Here's little Brockton, being recognized at the national level. And you should see some of the other organizations, they were actually selected as part of this process. I mean, there were mega organizations across the country, and here's the little association, in the sense, in the middle of all of them, you know. So it was kind of a sense of pride. And I mean, when it was actually announced out of the White House, I almost fell off my chair. And I knew,
I could imagine.
And I knew all along that we were going to get the grant, because they told us that we got it. But just the way it was announced, you know, when it was Cape-Verdean Association, Brockton, and you're like, Brockton, you know. So that grant came into play, and one of the things that we had proposed in the grant is that we were going to create this Greater Brockton Minority Business Association to try to bring the business communities together, the minority business communities together. Because Brockton right now is officially the only majority black city in New England. Now think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Majority black city in New England. Out of all the 6 New England states, Brockton is the only one that is actually majority black. When you put the Cape-Verdeans, the Haitians, and the African Americans together, we are the majority of the people in the city of Brockton.
Okay.
So being that, we had an opportunity to create this minority business organization of what we have today.
Okay.
You know, that basically is what we've got today. And the intent was to create this organization and let it grow on its own. You know, not to sit there and say, well, it was created by the association, therefore the association has to be the dictator of what happens to it.
Okay.
We were supposed to create that because it's supposed to go beyond the association.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you mentioned that, I would like also you can talk to the viewers about like how the process was intense, like to get this grant.
It wasn't given. Let me put it through this
Okay.
way. It wasn't like somebody called up and said, hey, do you want some money? How about this? Like I said, there were 700 applicants.
Yeah.
700. You know, in Massachusetts, there's 2. One in New Bedford and in us. There's one in Vermont and another one in Providence. So nothing in Boston, nothing in Worcester, nothing in Springfield, these bigger communities, Cambridge, Somerville, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, nothing, you know. So it wasn't an easy process. It was a competition that we actually had to go through. And we had to submit a proposal. And the proposal, it's like somebody, people kept saying, oh, the association got money to do this. No, the association didn't get money. The association applied for money, applied for the funds, and once the funds came, we got the funds to kind of develop this. Okay. So there was nothing given to anyone. You know, it's not like the government decided to cut a check to us and say, hey, do you guys want this? You know, because we basically proposed this is what we're going to do with it. Yeah. We proposed that we were going to hire, you know, 3 community advocates to work within the framework, and we've done that. We proposed that we're going to create the Gbmba. We've done that. You know, and the Gbmba right now, the Greater Brockton Minority Business Association, has its own legs to walk on its own. You know, that it doesn't need, it survives beyond the grant. It will survive beyond the association because in itself, it has all the functionalities of an organization that will move forward. And the example is what we're seeing in the community, the involvement of people in this organization, or at least some of the work that it already has been done because of the creation of this organization. You know, because the grant called for the association is the hub. You've got these 5 spokes, let the spokes do their things, and then the hub collects their information and writes the reports to the federal government. Okay. That's what it was supposed to be. But we also function as a hub because of the language issue of the community. But we went beyond that because we said, wait a minute, we're not going to function just as a hub. We're going to function as a hub that's going to create this group, and then this group will have its own legs to walk on itself, you know. And when you sit down and think about it, often when you hear people say, oh, there's a minority organization that was created, but think about that. The president of the Greater Brockton Minority Business Organization is a Haitian male. The vice president is a Cape-Verdean woman. The secretary is an African American woman. The treasurer is a Hispanic male. You know, so of the communities in Brockton, how can the Haitians come up and say, well, we're not included? What do you mean you're not included?
Everybody is.
The president of the organization is Haitian. How can the Cape-Verdeans come and say, oh, we don't know anything about this? Well, your vice president is a Cape-Verdean woman. And the African American community, and so on. So often you hear organizations being put together, they'll have a bunch of Haitians or a bunch of Cape-Verdeans or a bunch of African Americans. But this one here is very inclusive of everybody. And again, it has no ownership. You know, the owners are everybody, and yet at the same time, no one.
Okay.
You know, because there's nothing, one person is going to say, I'm going to finish this, or I'm going to end this, I'm going to close it out, because that was the intent of this, to create something that will have its own legs to be able to walk by itself.
Okay. And would you anticipate that this opportunity we have had with this grant, there is like the federal might found there is needs to continue with this program? I mean, to support the program.
The president is already in his budget, has already put monies aside for this particular thing. We're not exactly sure how it's going to work because Congress still has to do its part. But all indications are that the Community Navigator program will continue. I don't know exactly which way, how it's going to go, but it has been very, very successful. Because just to give you an example, within our consortium, in the Brockton, the Greater Brockton Community Navigator program that we called it, just on that group alone, we're looking at, just in grants and loans, we have provided or helped the businesses apply for over $13 million worth of money.
Wow.
We're not exactly sure of how many of those were actually, they got their money, but from the ones that we know of, there's over $3 million worth of funding that they got because they tell us. Because usually we'll help somebody apply for a loan or apply for a grant, but whether they get it or not, we don't know.
Okay.
But the ones that we do know about, it's over $3 million. You know, we have provided training to, every month we have a training session that we put together to basically provide the business community with the tools that they need to make their business better. You'll be shocked to find out how many businesses, successful businesses in our community, were operating without an EIN number, without it being registered at the Secretary of State, without it being registered at City Hall. You know, because these things came to our knowledge once they were applying for some grants where they're saying, wait a minute, where's your certificate of good standing with the Commonwealth? Oh, I don't have one of those. What is your certificate with the city? I don't have one of those. How many of them didn't have business plans? You know, how many businesses have never had a web page? You know, Facebook is free to every single person in America. How many of those businesses actually have a decent Facebook page to help them advertise their business? And this is what we do with this, the Greater Brockton Navigator program, is to basically, through the business association, to help these individuals basically get their business. It's not, because we have a tendency sometimes in the minority community always to look at what's in it for me.
Okay.
What are you giving me? What are you giving me? What are you giving me? And the idea of this is to give you the tools so you can go after it yourself. I mean, if you're in the business, you're in the business of making whatever monies you're going to make in selling your business. It's not, I'm in the business to wait for the government to give me a loan or to give me a grant. That's not, then you're not in the business. You're in the welfare business. You're waiting for somebody to hand you something over. But we want to be able to give those businesses the tools that they will be able to, you know, once in a while when these grants come around, and they exist constantly to help small businesses out that our people never took advantage of. I mean, we know we just went through a process now where about 40 businesses will get a grant from the city of Brockton. None of these businesses had gotten a dime from the previous grants that came down from the city. You know, this is 40 businesses,
which is good,
that never got a dime from anything else. Think about all the funding that came through COVID funds. These businesses, they had never gotten anything. You know, so the fact that all of a sudden now they're getting something for their involvement with the Greater Brockton community is in itself a success story for people to know and understand.
Okay. So, DjiDji, you are a business owner, and you are a member of the Greater Brockton Business Association, and also you are a board member. So let's talk first about your business and the involvement of your business inside of the Greater Brockton Business Association.
Thank you. First, I want to thank God, for allowing me to be here today. And I want to thank, for the program, invite us over, and to having me over there. And I would like to say that, my name is DjiDji, because if you are around, like you call me Maria, it's okay. I don't get offended. It's a bit Maria, but I would like to be called a DjiDji. Everywhere that you say DjiDji, everybody knows. So my name is DjiDji. I have a business called the DjiDji Salon in Brockton, which is located 821 North Main Street in Brockton. And it's a hair salon. I've been doing it for over, probably say now, 20 years. So the hair salon, it's been like my life. And I'm glad to say that I'll be managed, it was okay, going okay. But the tough time came through the pandemic.
The COVID.
So when the COVID hit it, when they hit it hard, then, and especially I was like already put a note on the door, then I was going home, we are going home, and if you need a service, call the number, then somebody, because it was dead. And before that, and I got a letter from the city say that it was April, I believe 15, we had to shut down the business. And I said to the employees, well, we'll go home, we leave after God's hands. And while sitting home, the COVID was hard. And I received a phone call. They tell me, from Moises, Moises said, hey, I heard that it's a fact that through SBA, and if you have your business registered, and you can apply, then it will be a way to help you with the business. So, okay. Then I went on the computer, then there was not much information needed at the time, but I have not 100% of it all, but I did have what I had. Then I submitted, and thank God, I did get the PPP through the SBA. Would that help me keep my business and my employees, and we did survive the COVID. And after that, since Moises told me, I've been like chasing Moises everywhere around. Then I never stopped. Then through a Cape-Verdean association, and people keep coming and tell us about it. Then we keep inviting more people to apply for it. Some people got it, some don't.
Okay.
But we've been, and when he tell us about it, I said, we have so many businesses in Brockton. And come out with the idea. Then we come out with the Greater Brockton Minority Business. And we all got together, and I was invited to be part of the member because I think I'm nosy. I want to be everywhere. Then I joined it, and it's been great. I want to tell everyone who does have the business, if you do have your business, please join it. Because what I experienced through it is not just to go find out to get a grant or to get a money, but we have a people come from the bank, talk to you, like educate you how you can run your business, and help you, guide you through. Every once of a month we have a meeting, and we have someone who come to teach us, like we're in a lesson on the business, one step at a time, so we can keep our business move forward.
Okay. And I'm also like wonder, in your experience through the organization, like networking with all the business in the community. And I think that's a huge, advantage through this program, because let's say I might have my business and you never know me, and you have your business, I never know you, but through this program, I think it's a great opportunity for not only the Greater Brockton, but all the business, because I know from experience, as I am a navigator through this program for the Greater Brockton Business Association, is that so I starting knowing, like, you give that service or I give that service and that connect us. So my question is that through this experience you have had, how would you describe it, like the networking opportunity?
Oh, it's great. Let me tell you, I've been, you know, in Brockton, you know, in my business, like I will say currently 17 years on North Main Street. And through this program, the networking, and I met other hair salons in Brockton, then I never knew that exists. Then I was, wow, so surprised. And when I did visit them, and we change experiences, you know, between me and them, how I operate my business, and I share my experience with them. I meet people like, you know, in different, you know, like car dealership, you know, people at the bank, you know, daycare, you name it.
Barbershop.
Many barbershop, you know, I mean, cake factory, if we need it, where to go. It's like, it's a great networking, because sometimes you don't know, we have a lot of things in the city, but through this, you know, networking, you know, well, I get to meet so many people. It's, you know, it's impressive.
Okay. All the viewers, you're still listening to SBP, which is Small Business Promo, and I am Ronald Bernard, who is presenting the show. So now I'm going to go back to you, Moises. Your observation and, or if I say like a quick assessment through the program, like how long the program has been going on and your observation through, you know, some results and stuff.
Yeah, well, it started in 2020, the end of 2022, 21. So we had a solid 2022, and now about 5 months in 23. As far as the original pilot program, it's supposed to end in December of 2023.
Okay.
Hopefully, we will continue to get the funds to be able to support the community with the personnel that we have. But no matter what happens, the
Greayer,
it has the fruits now. The tree has provided fruits for us to continue to provide the services that we can to the community. So that's what we're going to continue to do. And it's important for people to understand that America is a country of associations. It is. I mean, you think about it, every single profession has an association. The medical association, the teachers association, association here, association there. One of the largest organizations that America has is the association called the legislative branch of the federal government, the U.S. Congress, where a bunch of people come together to decide on what's good for the country. It replicates in the states, it replicates in the cities and towns as well. So it's a country that recognizes associations, people coming together to do something. So that's why both the association itself and the Greater Brockton Minority Business Association is important, because it goes into the American way of life in terms
values,
of associating people for the common good. So that to me will continue to happen. That will continue to work as it has, no matter what happens with the funding, as I said. You know, but it's important for us to understand that we need to associate ourselves. We tried. It's interesting how in Brockton, in conversations with a lot of the small businesses, the hair shops, the hair salons, the barber shops, they've tried this in the past to create these organizations, but it never came to fruition because our people sometimes are not all that trusting, and they say, well, "What's in it for you? You know, why are you trying to do this?" You know, so when an association that has, you know, no dog in the fight, as the old saying goes, puts together something, then people are saying, well, they're neutral. You know, it's, you know, because if you have, you know, business A, business B, and here comes this neutral group in the middle to say, why don't we try to bring you guys together? You know, you've got, you know, we've had problems with grocery stores. You know, if something starts with grocery store A, grocery store B isn't going to trust to see what's going on.
Okay.
Same thing with the barber shops, one way or the other. But because it was created by an association that has, again, no quorums with anyone, that works with the immigrant community here in the city, so it was more acceptable, I believe. Because you don't have that, I'm not going because you're trying to scam us. I'm not going because you're trying to, draw some benefits from it, as it has been done in the past. So I think that's why it has been somewhat successful in moving forward, and we're going to continue to do that.
Okay. And well, in everything there is challenges. So what would say, like, you observe throughout the implementation of this grant, or throughout helping Greater Brockton Business Association, like some challenges, and how you've been kind of address them along the way just to bring more improvement?
Well, I think as far as the Community Navigator program, pilot program, the challenges was us from the association getting used to the federal government jargon, because it's a brand new language, a brand new way of doing things. We had never been involved with the federal government when it came to funding for the association. It's always been done through the state or the local government, or the foundations and things like that. So just to get used to this report, this thing, that thing, it was kind of challenging in the beginning. It still is. I mean, every month we have to provide, every quarter we have to provide a full-fledged report to SBA, basically telling them what we did in the previous quarter. And every quarter you keep finding new things, new ways of reporting things. The challenge with the Greater Brockton Minority Business Association, I believe in the very beginning, was almost like convincing people that it was real. Okay. Because I think our community has been taken advantage of so much and so often that they look at things and say, this can't be real. Why would you guys be providing us with all this information free of charge? Yeah. What's in it for you? I can't believe that there's nothing in it for you, and that's why sometimes when we start our monthly meetings, one of the first things that I say to people is, we're here to provide you information, not to ask you to buy anything. We're not selling you anything, because we want to make sure that we're just providing you with that information, to provide you the technical assistance that we can provide you with, because we don't want you to feel that you're obligated to do anything. We have a small fee that the membership voted on in terms of folks to sign up to this business association, a mere $100 per year. And one of the decisions that was made by the organization is that we were going to use those funds to create scholarships for young men and women who want to get involved in business. Okay. So whatever funds we generate from the membership, again, it's not taking advantage of anybody. Some people think, oh, why you just put it $100? Because I'm like, $100 is okay. We'll see what happens. It should be more. Well, let's just do 100 because we want to use those funds to, let's say we have, 200 100s is $20,000. Yep. We can have $20,000 worth of scholarships to give out every year. Which would be great to help especially the folks within the minority community, in the sense to be able to pay for school, to help them in paying for school. So that's one of the things that we've done. But it's important. I think one of the messages that I want to make sure that we leave here is the fact that it's important for people to associate. Yep. You need to associate. You want to be treated with the dignity and respect that your business demands. You need to associate. You need to belong to a chamber. You need to belong to a group like this, because they will advocate for you as a whole. But if you don't associate, it's kind of hard to get that help. We can get help from any so-called of the supporting cast that exists out there because we have this association going. SCORE will come down and provide something. They wouldn't do it to individual stuff, but they'll come to organizations to do that. And we got gazillion. The chamber puts out a bunch of programs. But they put it out and they make it available to our membership, because that's how it's supposed to be done. So it's important for people to associate, and we've got a lot of businesses in, you know, and yet somebody said to me the other day, what do you consider Greater Brockton? I said, well, the way I look at it is Maine, Florida, the Atlantic Ocean, and California. It's all Greater Brockton. So we are a minority group, minority business organization here, so it doesn't really matter exactly where you're residing in. Yeah. We have members from Rhode Island. Yeah. We've got folks from Boston, from New Bedford and Fall River, you know, Randolph, Brockton. So it's a wide range of things that we wanted to do. And the folks that are watching us that live in the outside, although it's called Greater Brockton, you know, but it's Greater Brockton because it's got to be based out of somewhere. Yep. But our intention is to basically get membership or folks to get involved with us, no matter what exactly you live in the Greater Brockton, as far as the directions that I just pointed to a few minutes ago. We want you to be a part of this because I think it's important for you to associate and help us help your business. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to DjiDji. DjiDji, what is your personal opinion about, you know, how you would say you are satisfied through this membership and your involvement as well within the Greater Brockton Business Association?
Well, I'm very satisfied with that because when, you know, as a member part of it, and like Moises just said, you know, to pay that small fee, which is $100 a year, it's nothing. Because if we do have, like, you just throw 200, 300 members, it would be great because, you know, we can use that fund, like he said, for me to see that donated for one of our children or anybody else, you know what I'm saying, the community who can't afford to go to college or for good needs, that it would be, you know, it's amazing to see that happen. That's a goal that I want to achieve. Then I'm glad I'm part of it. I'm not going to stop it as a businesswoman, you know, as a part of this group to work on it to make sure we'll keep pushing for it. Then we can see a fruit come out of this.
And how about like viewers who are listening and they haven't joined, you know, this organization yet? So what would you like say to them? Like,
you know, what I want to say to everybody, no matter what, like Moises just said, it's based on Brockton, you know, the Greater Brockton minority business. It's not just because it's got to be people from Brockton. If you do have your business, no matter what, you can reach out to us and call me. You know, I'll leave out the number, 508-472-5442, or you can go on our website at the Greater Brockton Minority Business Association, and you'll find everything there. You can register your business over there and pay the small fee and join us. Because you're going to find, not just because the grant, when it comes from government, that comes, but you're going to get information, which is a tool to help you succeed with your business. If you're in the business, you mean business. Because if you, like, if I have my own business because it's something I want to keep it, you know, to see it grow. If you do want to see that, we have all the tools we can help you through. Because doing this, Ronald, I want to say, myself, I find a lot of people, I will give you an example, they do have a business, like Moises said, they'll never been registered with the state. They will never register with the city. A lot of them, they have a business, they don't have a payroll system. Some of them, they don't even know or they don't have the right information. But if they come there, they're going to have all the information is need. So if it's there, a grant or it's a loan, you need it, you'll be in the right position to apply to get it, to help you through your business if that's a need. Okay. So it's like we have the system with the full information. And I'm happy, like every monthly meeting we go to, because you cannot get out of there with, you know, based out of those monthly meetings without getting, you know, an information which you're going to say, wow, it's going to help you. Because you can do social media, how you advertise in your business. You meet somebody new, a new member comes, then they'll tell you what they do. You exchange ideas with other businesses. It's a great opportunity. If you have a business, you want to take your business serious, please join us.
Okay. So all the viewers, the Greater Brockton Business Association, its mission, it has, I believe, 3 points in its mission. Number one, it's provide networking opportunity among business leaders, business in the communities. Number two, it's connect with resources in the community, like connect like either with grant opportunity, with banking, with all the support businesses leader they need in the community. And the third one is providing training. When I say training, it's like we doing the meeting as like when DjiDji mentioned, the Greater Brockton, they have meetings every third Sunday of the month. And this meeting, it's all the 3 points that I say in the mission. It's networking opportunity, it's training, and it's connecting with resources in the community. So I myself like had experience working with you guys and supporting, you know, small businesses within the community and connect them as well as through your network, you know, with resources in the community. So Moises, like throughout the whole year and now, as you say, about 5 months more, what is your satisfaction through this program?
Well, the first thing that I want to say is the fact that, and I want to put in a plug for the USSBA for having, you know, trusted us with this program. You know, they have been great, realizing that not every single mega organization that's out there are the only ones that can actually do anything in the community. And having trusted us to basically take on this Navigator program here in the city. The SBA Massachusetts, based out of here, Massachusetts, have been great in terms of assisting us as we move forward in this particular journey. Even the SBA New England has been, because there's a New England region in the sense out of the SBA as well. They too have been great. You know, they've participated in some of the events that we have done. They continue to support us with whatever needs we have in the community that had never existed before. I mean, a lot of people didn't even know that SBA existed prior to the pandemic in the sense. But now our entire community knows what SBA is because of this program. You know, our partners in the community knows exactly what SBA is because of the fact that this Navigator program was brought into our community, powered by SBA. So that's what one of the things that I wanted to say is that without SBA, perhaps this would have not existed. You know, because if the funding didn't come down a pipeline, we would not be able to put together the Greater Brockton Community Navigator program, and then would not be able to put on the Greater Brockton Minority Business Organization that was born out of it. So everything is owed to SBA. So that's the important concept that we need to understand. And it is my hope that they will continue to fund programs like this because it shows that you don't have to be a mega organization to be able to do good things in the community. So that's probably one of the things that I wanted to say is the faith that they actually had in us to be able to carry this on, and the fact that they provided us with resources to do that, which otherwise wouldn't have happened. You know, I've been living in Brockton for 40 plus years. We've never had it. Okay. You know, and thanks to SBA and the grant that actually came down the pipe, today we have this Greater Brockton Minority Business Organization that will live long after we are done.
Okay. I'm just going to add some more comments based on my personal experience with, the Greater Brockton Business Association. Through the grant opportunity, and I found that, this program, it's very necessary, like it's very important for the community. Number one, it reveals, or let's say it educates the business leaders in the community about a bunch of things that they should work on. For instance, you all mentioned about that. Either, make sure that they register with the Secretary of State, make sure that their taxes, they do tax properly, according to, the business entity they have, and make sure that they have their financial, paper, up to date, and also make sure that they have business plan. One of my experiences that I found, not many people, they have a business plan. Like, if you have a business, the same way you mentioned in the beginning, Moses, like if you have a business, you should have a plan. And the plan is that, okay, this is this year, and let's say next year where I want to go, versus who's gonna supporting me and giving me benefit, like money to move like that. But also it's just putting, the foundation of the business. Because when you create business to make profit. And in order to make profit, you have to put together all, the better structure, and you have to do the network opportunity as we talked about this program. So all the viewers, this is SBP, which is Small Business Promo, and we have had with us Mr. Moses Rodrigues, who is the Executive Director of the Cape-Verdean Association. And we have had also Maria, and the nickname is DjiDji, who is a business owner and member of the Greater Brockton Business Association. So, guys, a final, encouragement to people who are listening to us. Let me go with you, Maria. I mean, DjiDji.
Okay, my final, I want to say again, I want to invite everyone, not just Brockton like I mentioned earlier, but everybody. If you want a business, you want to go serious, you want to keep your business, please join us. And because I see opportunity here, through this myself, like you said, you were just asking about business plan. I have a plan, and I want to see my business growing and move forward and to have a big and serious. So I'll tell everybody, this is true. It's not like Moises said, sometimes people just wondering, people say, oh, this is going to work, it's not going to work. It will work. And it's working right now, I have to say it is working, and I love it, and I can't wait, every third Sunday of the month to join the meeting to see what's new, because every time we have something new on the plate, so we want to give it out to those who want to listen and take advantage of it.
Okay, perfect. And you, Moses, what is the encouragement to people who are listening?
Well, as I said earlier, I want people to know, again, that associations matter in this country. You can go about it by yourself, but it's a lot easier when you go about it with a group of people with you, especially people that have a lot in common with you. Again, it's thanks to the pilot program that actually this whole thing was born. It's thanks to the partnerships that we have with the BRA, the City of Brockton, the Metro South, Haitian Community Partners, the Brockton Workers Alliance, and the Immigrant Center, Assistance Center in New Bedford as well, that actually has this program succeeding in a way. And we have succeeded because we can see the number of people that have been served by it and continue to be served by it. The number of businesses that are now more educated in terms of what they need to do to better their business. In the number of individuals who now, as DjiDji was saying a few minutes ago, that has a foundation or a plan of what they want to do with their business, so that, God forbid, when the next something happens, I'm not going to mention COVID because I don't ever want that thing to come back.
No.
But when something happens in the form of an emergency or something that happens to you, it could be a storm, it could be whatever, you would know what to do with your business. You would know what to go. When funding is available to assist, that you have the resources to go after some of those fundings to help you better your business altogether. But it only happens when you have the knowledge. And how do you have the knowledge? By associating. And if you don't associate, you wouldn't have the knowledge or know where to go.
Yep.
So that's why I encourage people to take a chance. Take a chance on something that costs you basically nothing. Come and see what's being done. Come and see what we're trying to do. Come and see all the businesses that are involved in this particular thing. Come and see that perhaps your suffering is not yours and yours only. You know, that there's others suffering the same way. Come and see that your successes are perhaps not just your success, but there's others succeeding as well. So it's important for people just to kind of come and see what's going on in the sense, and trust in the system. Trust the fact that a community-based organization can actually put together something that just purely benefits the community without it getting nothing in return. Because the association gets nothing in return from the meetings that we hold from the Greater Brockton Community Navigator. On the contrary, you know, we have sometimes to put together refreshments and things like that, or the electricity or the heating that goes on and stuff. But it's an honor to do that because we're helping our fellow man in the community. And again, it's the Cape-Verdean Association, but it's also the Immigrant Assistance Center of Greater Brockton, which in turn kind of takes care of all the immigrant communities in the Greater Brockton community. So come and see what's going on and join us. And I'm sure that as we move forward with this, it's going to be bigger and better. We're now more experienced. We know what to expect. We know when somebody's talking about a business plan that it's actually a plan. You know, to know what your certificate of good standing is. We're all learning in the same process because as we, you know, try to assist people getting one of those, we know, oh, that's what it means, you know. So we're actually learning as we go along as well. But we're a lot smarter now because we've been at it for a while. So again, trust in the process. Join us, and you've got absolutely nothing to lose, you know, by doing this.
Okay. Well, so thank you both, you know, for being in our platform, and I believe it's not the last time we will have you all the time in our platform. So all the viewers, you have been listening to SBP Small Business Promo, and my name is Ronald Bernard. It's a pleasure to present the show.
Paske li ok pou pa ok. Paske pale kapab ran bagay yo miyo. Paske eseye komunike se un sin fos. Toujou gon rezon pou pataje ki jan ou santi yo. Paske santé mental ou konte.